Where did you?
Top 4 Kin price predictions for 2018. Kin is an unusual addition to the list of cryptocurrencies, as it was developed by an existing company rather than a new startup. Made by Kik Interactive, the makers of the popular Kik Messenger app, it is designed to be the native cryptocurrency for that messenger. Its goal is to serve as a building block for a market ecosystem, allowing things like sharing ad revenue with content creators or rewarding users for participating in various surveys or events. Kin has hovered around the 0.00005 used mark for most of 2017, before rising with the rest of the market in December and January and stabilizing at around 0.0002 used towards the end of the first quarter of 2018. Backed by an established company with strong market share, Kin has the potential to be a very strong cryptocurrency this year. Here are some of our thoughts on Kin price predictions for 2018. What are the Kin price predictions for 2018? Excellent growth potential. Kin is in a unique position for a cryptocurrency, since it has effectively a captive market consisting of hundreds of millions of users from the Kik Messenger. This gives Kin an enormous potential for growth. If even 10% of Kik users start actively using Kin, it will become more popular than Bitcoin. And given the success of some other types of in-app currencies, the 10% adoption rate may be a conservative estimate. This large user base should by itself do a lot towards increasing the demand for the coin, if only for some of the more banal uses that Kik has so far suggested, such as using it to buy special stickers or emojis within the app. However, the large potential audience is also likely to attract outside actors, such as advertising or market research firms who would be willing to pay users in Kin for their insights or data. That would also serve to drive the demand for the coin fairly aggressively. No such partnerships have been announced so far, but given the difficulties in assessing the demographics of Kik users and its high rate of adoption among young people, it is likely that this data will be in high demand. Together, these two factors point out that the Kin token is in a very good position to aggressively drive one of the key fundamentals of price, demand. If people can use Kin to get things that they want and can't get elsewhere, whether they be market insights or emojis, its price is bound to climb as it sees greater adoption. With a favorable turn in the crypto market, that can easily bring it back to its January high of nearly 0.0015 used, though expect a market correction to follow if it goes that high. Linked to one platform. Being so closely linked to the existing Kik platform has both advantages and disadvantages for Kin as a cryptocurrency. Having a large existing user base not only helps drive demand for the coin, but also serves to insulate Kin somewhat from the fluctuations of the larger cryptocurrency market. Most of the people using Kik, and by extension Kin, are expected to be new to cryptocurrencies. This means that they are less likely to be swayed by fluctuations of other coins, since they will probably not be following or investing in them as well. However, being limited to the Kik ecosystem also serves as a soft limit on Kin's reach. While it will have an easy time growing within that platform, it will face difficulties expanding in other areas unless it acquires other partners. It also ties the demand for Kin tokens to the amount of users that Kik has. If users start leaving Kik, they are unlikely to continue using Kin. Since its release, Kik has been involved in a number of controversies and disputes that have hurt its access to new markets. If another such controversy turns up, it is likely to hurt Kin even if it concerns something that is completely unrelated to it. Currently, however, neither of those concerns are likely to harm Kin's growth in the short term. Kin is likely to take months, if not years, to hit its saturation point with the existing Kik user base, which itself shows little signs of shrinking. This puts our Kin price prediction solidly in the positive. Once the token is rolled out, which should be in the next couple of months, you can expect to see it steadily rise to potentially as high as 0.001 USD or more. Low liquidity. One negative that the KIN token is currently seeing is relatively low liquidity, but even that serves to keep the price of the token fairly stable, though it may constrain it somewhat if it starts rapidly gaining in price. Currently, only 10% of the total supply of KIN tokens is in circulation among both institutional and private investors, with the rest to be released at a future date as necessary to maintain a healthy ecosystem. While this means that KIN will see a drop in price as more tokens are released, that is not likely until the system sees wider adoption. It does point out, however, that the developers expect to see a very wide demand for the token in the future and are preparing for it, which is a positive sign for our KIN price predictions. However, you can expect more tokens to be released if the price climbs too quickly, which we expect the developers to do if it goes north of the 0.001 USD mark. A more pressing concern is the limited availability of the KIN token on some of the more popular token exchanges right now. There are only a few exchanges where it is listed, which is depressing the trading volume somewhat, as well as reducing demand from buyers who only use certain exchanges. However, as it grows in the next months, it will have to be listed on more exchanges to gain market acceptance. Many investors are waiting for just such an event, as that would release significant liquidity that would allow KIN to grow in price more freely. A spike up to 0.0015 or 0.002 USD is not unlikely before the market corrects. Technological uncertainty. Overall, both the market situation and the fundamentals point to good returns for this coin for the year, making our KIN price predictions very bullish. However, there is one issue that could cause the KIN project to crash and burn, and that is the issue of which blockchain it will run on. The original proposal and most of the current technology for KIN is designed to run on the Ethereum blockchain, but the developers have not begun moving it to the Stellar blockchain. The reason for the change is Ethereum's difficulty in handling large amounts of transactions from many users in a short period of time, which is exactly how its creators see KIN being used. This has not only raised questions about the viability of the whole project, as it slightly delays its implementation, but has also worried some of the major investors that expected it to be solely an Ethereum project. If a large investor decides to pull out of the project, the sell-off could cause a huge drop in the price, probably around its low of 0.00005 USD in early December. Conclusion. Based on our KIN price predictions, it is a good token to invest in and is likely to see an increase in value over the course of 2018. It benefits from a strong captive market of users and a potential for strong demand against a relatively constrained supply. That is a recipe for significant growth, especially as its user base starts developing and the liquidity flow is increased. It is also somewhat insulated from the volatility of the greater coin market. If the development team can pull off the switch to Stellar without significant issues and maintain investor confidence, this is a coin that is very likely to be trading in the high triple zeros in mid to late 2018. Do you agree or disagree with our KIN price predictions? Tell us about it.